Alright, so we have installed MySQL itself in Windows and in Linux. But that's not what I want to use for the rest of the series. What I want to use is something called Xamp. And that gives us an Apache server, PHP, and MySQL all on our local machine. So it's basically a local server. Which works basically like if you got, say, a shared server through whatever, GoDaddy, HostGator. And it also gives us a tool called PHPMyAdmin, which gives us a graphical interface to deal with our database. And we'll be using that a lot through this course. We'll also look at some other tools like MySQL Workbench, as well as command line tools. So what I want to do in this video is just download and install Xamp, sometimes called Xamp or Xamp, but I just call it Xamp, and you can get it at apachefriends.org. And you can download Xamp on Windows, Mac, or Linux, so it's multi-platform. We're going to grab the the Windows version. They just totally redid this site too. Alright, so we're going to save this, and it's quite a big file. It's 118 megabytes, so it might take a couple minutes depending on your connection. So I'm going to pause this video and come back when it's done. Alright, so we have Xamp downloaded. Let's go ahead and open the executable file. And basically works like any Windows installer program. Just click next. Now Xamp comes, like I said, it comes with Apache, MySQL, PHP. It also comes with FileZilla, which is an FTP server, a Mercury mail server, Tomcat, Perl, and then PHPMyAdmin, which we'll be using, Webalizer, Fake Send Mail. So we don't need all these. I'm going to uncheck FileZilla, Mercury, Tomcat. We'll leave PHP and Perl. Get rid of Webalizer and Fake Send Mail. Alright, and you can leave them all checked if you want, but that's what we need. Alright, so I'll leave it in the C drive, in the Xamp folder, and we can just close that out, that pop-up, and click next, and now it's going to install all those components onto your system. Alright, so installation's finished. It's asking us if we want to start the control panel, so we'll leave that checked. Now this is going to run every time you start up your machine if you install it as a service, and we can do that where these red X's are. We just click on that and we can choose to start them as a service. Your firewall will prompt you, just say allow access. Same with MySQL. Alright, so this should start up with your machine. You do have to start them manually right here, so we'll say start. Oops, sorry about that. And start. Alright, so now we have Apache running, and we have MySQL, which comes with PHPMyAdmin, which we will go over. I'm going to dedicate a section to PHPMyAdmin. Now there's a few things we should do before we end this video. It is installed, but what I want to do is show you where your server would be. So if we go into the C drive and then Xamp and htdocs, this folder is equivalent to your www folder or your public HTML folder on a server. So basically, if you want to build websites or applications with PHP, they would go in here. Alright, so let's go to our local host, which is how you would access everything in your htdocs folder, and it redirects to the Xamp control panel. So we want to click English, and you can access a few different things from this panel. You can access PHPMyAdmin, but what you want to do first is go to security. And by default, our MySQL database the root user doesn't have a password, so you can see that right here. So we want to change that. We want to make sure that we give that user a password. So we should click on this, I believe it's, this link right here, and our root user for MySQL, which is the super user, we just want to create a password. So I'm just going to give him a password real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, you guys should pick something more secure. And then if we click password changing, the root password was successfully changed. Please restart MySQL. Alright, so to restart MySQL, we just have to open the panel and say stop. You can see that it's shut down the service, and now we want to start it again. Alright, so we're all set. Now there's a few ways you can get to phpMyAdmin. You can just, I believe you can do it from here, from the Xamp panel, but maybe not. Down here, tools. Alright, and the URL for this is localhost/phpMyAdmin, or you can even go to it from this panel. If you go to MySQL and then admin, that'll take you there as well. And you can log in with the password you just created with root. And this is the interface, so we can see our databases. There's a couple test databases here. CD collection, which is a database which has one table for CDs, has a couple entries. Alright, so I don't want to do too much in this section because we're gonna go over this in depth in other sections. So I just wanted to show you how to get this up and running, and this is the environment that we will work in for the rest of the course.